The old neighbors, come and see you, come and see you. My son has married a witch. Story of the wicked mother-in-law. So this mother-in-law is super, super wicked, and she does not want to share her son with any wife. She's always complaining about all her daughter-in-law until she finally met a match. And what this her new daughter-in-law does to her will shock you. Welcome to this YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe. In a small village, everyone knew one thing for sure. Ike loved his mom, and his mother loved him even more. I can't live without my son, Mama Ike often says, her voice proud and loud. He is my heart. When Ike finished school and got a job in the city, most young men move on and start a new life, but not Ike, and definitely not Mama Ike. She packed her wrappers, her cooking pot, and her big mouth and followed him to the city. He is my child, she told the neighbors. If he goes, I go too. So they moved together into a small flat in the noisy city. Mama Hike cooked his meals, washed his clothes, and cleaned his house like she had always done. Ike didn't mind. In fact, he liked it. After all, Mama had always taken care of him. But in the streets, people whispered, "Isn't like a grown man now?" They said, "Why is his mother still living with him?" Ike didn't care what they said. To him, Mama was not a burden. She was his friend. But Mama Ike didn't see it that way. She had her eyes on everything. She watched who called him, who visited, who checked and checked his phone sometimes. Ike brought home a girl to say hello. Mama Ike would whisper and frown. This one is not a wife material, and Ike would listen. At 25, Ike had never spent one full week away from his mother, not even once. Why should I? He will laugh. My mother knows what's best for me. But deep down, Mama Ike wasn't just a loving mother. She was afraid. Afraid that if Ike get married, she would lose her place. No more cooking his meal, no more cleaning his shirt, no more sleeping in the room beside him. She had given him a whole life and didn't plan to share it with any woman. Not now, not ever. One sunny afternoon, Ike came home with a big smile and a surprise. Mama Miss Ngozi, he said, holding the hands of a tall, soft-spoken, bright eye and a kind smile. Mama Ike looked up from the chair, squinted and frowned. Hey, this one. Ngozi bent down politely and greeted her. Good afternoon, Mama. Mama Ike didn't smile. She didn't answer. She just looked up and down like a shopkeeper checking if a tomato was rotten. Later that night, Mama Ike spoke. Ike, listen to me. This girl is not good for you. Her waist is too sharp. Her eyes are too fast. She's pretending. But Mama, she's kind. She works in the hospital. She cooks. She can even help you wash plates. Mama shook her head. You don't know these city ladies. They come with smiles, but their hearts are like stone. Still, Ike was in love. He had never felt this welfare before. Ngozi listened to him laugh at his joke and called his mom that Mama, like she truly meant it. So Ike made a bold decision. We are getting married, he said. Next month, the traditional wedding will be in the village. Mama Ike nearly dropped her water bucket. You want to marry her? Just like that, without my blessing. I am a man now, Mama. I have made up my mind. Mama did not cry. She did not scream, but her eyes turned cold like morning harmattan. The wedding came. It was colorful. There was dancing, singing, and gifts from both family. Everyone smiled, except Mama Ike. She wore her best lace, but not in her best mood. Every time someone said, Congratulations, Mama, she forced to smile. But inside, her heart was heavy. After the wedding, Ngozi moved in. She tried her best to make Mama happy. She cooked with her, cleaned with her, sat and told her stories. But it was never enough. Mama always had something to say. The soup is too salty. The floor is not clean. You used my wrapper to mop the table. Soon, the house was full of whispers and words. And last night, when Ike come back from work, Mama was sitting down. This wife of yours, she wants to buy me. Oh. She's not a good woman. You have married a taboo. At first, Ike thought the arguments were normal. Two women living together, he told himself. They will get used to each other. But the house was no longer a home. It felt like a battleground. Every morning, there was tension. Ngozi would sweep the floor. Mama Hinke would sweep it again, harder. As if the first one was never enough, Ngozi would cook rice. Mama Ike would say, that is not how Ike like it. Let me cook my own. At night, Mama Ike would sit in Ike room talking for hours while Ngozi waited alone in the sitting room, holding back her tears. The same, then came the stories. One day, Ike came from work, tired and sweaty. Mama Ike met him at the door. My son, she said, holding her chest, your wife wants to buy me. What happened, Mama? She added something in my tea. My throat has been scratching me since morning. Ngozi ran out shock. That is not true. I made the tea for both of us. You didn't drink yours, Mama said, pointing. You gave me poison. Ike didn't know who to believe. His head spun. Mama, please, Ngozi, please, can we all just calm down? But things didn't calm down. The next week, Mama said Ngozi locked her out of the kitchen. The next week after that, she claimed Ngozi hid her wrapper. No one in the house was happy anymore. Ngozi cried at night. Ike placed the floor. Mama told the neighbors, my wife married a witch. Then one evening, after a big shouting match, Ngozi packed her things. She didn't wait for Ike to return from work. She just left. No goodbye, no notes, no, just silence. When Ike came back from work and saw her side of the wardrobe empty, he dropped to the bed and held his head. Mama, he whispered, what have you done? But Mama smiled quietly and served him hot porridge. She was never yours, she said sweetly. Now eat and rest. I will always take care of you. Ike stared at the food. He was hungry, but didn't feel like eating anything. 2 months passed after Ngozi left. Ike missed her sometimes, her laughter, her quiet way of doing things, but Mama always had something to say. She was too proud, she reminded him. A good wife doesn't need to leave her husband. Ike stayed quiet. One Sunday afternoon, a woman named Gift came to visit. She was beautiful. She told Mama Ike, I have heard about you so much, she said sweetly. Mama Ike said, this one has manners though. Gift came again the next weekend and the next. Soon, Ike was smiling again, talking more, eating well. I have found the right one, he told Mama. And Mama agreed. This is the kind of wife I have been praying for. What they didn't know was that Gift had her own secret. She was the daughter of a Babalawo, a powerful herbalist in the village. She also knew how to see things normal eyes could not see. She watched Mama Ike carefully. She is too loud, Gift said to herself, too controlling. A few weeks after they have met, Ike paid Gift bride price. They had a small traditional wedding. There was no big party like before, just family, prayers, and plenty of food. Gift moved in. At first, everything seemed fine, but it didn't take long before Mama Ike started again. Why are you cooking like that? You didn't wash the bedroom today. Don't wear that in front of my son. Gift smiled through his all, but deep inside, her anger grew. One night, she called her father. Papa, I have something I want to say to you. What is it, my daughter? He said. I want a charm, a strong one, to control Mama Ike before she destroyed my marriage too. Her father was quiet, then he asked, are you sure? I am. 2 days later, she received a small pouch tied with a thread. Put this under her bed, her father message said, and speak no word of it. Gift held the pouch tightly. She looked at Mama Ike from across the room, laughing, shouting, stirring soup hardly. Gift waited for the right moment. One morning, while Mama Ike went to the market, she tiptoed into her room. She gently lifted her mattress and slid the black pouch underneath. It smelled strange, like a smoke and pepper mixed together. She whispered the words her father told her. Silence in the mouth, peace in the house. Let her obey and never shout, and then walked out like nothing happened. That evening, Mama Ike was different. She didn't complain about the soup. She didn't argue about the lights being left on. She just sat in one corner, staring at the wall, quiet, like a forgotten broom. Ike noticed it. Mama, are you okay? He asked. I am fine, oh, she said softly. I'm just tired. Gift smiled to herself. The next day, Mama woke up before sunrise and swept the whole house without being asked. She washed Ike clothes, washed Gift's clothes, cleaned the bedroom, and even cooked egusi soup for Gift. Ike was surprised. That is nice, oh, he said. You two are getting along now. Gift only nodded, but deep inside, she knew what was happening. The magic, the charm had started working, she said to herself. Every day, Mama Hike became more and more quiet. She didn't shout anymore. She didn't argue. She just walked, sweeping, washing, cooking, always moving, never resting. Sometimes she talked to herself in whispers. Sometimes she forgot to eat. One day she tried to shout at Gift over a burnt stew, but no sound came from her mouth. Her lips moved, but her voice was gone for a full minute. She sat down, confused and sweating. Gift leaned close to the wall and whispered, "You are safe as long as you behave yourself." Mama looked up, eyes widened. She knew something was wrong, something beyond her understanding. But she couldn't prove anything. She couldn't fight. She was trapped in her own son's house. And Ike, he didn't see anything. To him, everything seems perfect. No more quarrel, he said happily. Peace at last. But Mama Ike wasn't at peace. She was a prisoner. And the one holding the key was wearing a bright wrapper, painted lips, and a sweet smile. Her name was Gift. Months passed, but for my Mikey, it felt like years. She was no longer proud mother who once through the house. She had become a maid, silent, thin and tired. Every morning, she woke up before everyone else. She swept the compound, fetched water, washed dishes, and cooked 3 square meals, even when no one asked her to. She never sat to eat with Ike and Gift. She only served the food, stood in the corner, and waited for leftovers. Sometimes Ike would call her like a servant. "Mama Ike, clean that stain. Mama, a wrapper needs ironing. Mama, you didn't mop under the chair." And Mama would obey, not because she wanted to, because something inside her had broken. Her mind felt fudgy. Her thought felt slow. One day, she looked at herself in the bedroom mirror. Her face was thin. Her eyes were dull. Her hair, once full and black, had grey strand. "Who am I becoming?" she whispered to herself. No answer came. Even the neighbor noticed. "That is Mama Hiki," one of them said. "She used to be strong and loud. Now she walked to the market. People barely recognize her. Some even whispered, 'She looks older than her age, oh.'" But the strangest part, she couldn't cry. Even when she felt sad, the tears would come. It was like a feeling that were locked away. One night, she heard Ike and Gift laughing in their room. She sat outside in the cold, her hands on her lap, staring at the moon. "My son has forgotten me," she thought. She remembered when Ike was a boy, how we used to run to her and scrap things and shout, "Mama, Mama," with joy. And now he barely said more than "good morning" or "is there food?" She wanted to ask for help, to shout, to fight, but something stronger held her back. It wasn't sadness, it was control, it was magic. Gift had stolen her voice, her power, and her place. And Ike, her own son, didn't even see it. He only saw peace in the house. 2 years later, that is how Mama Ike stayed in that house, walking, shrinking, and disappear. She didn't shout anymore. She didn't tell stories. She didn't even laugh when Ike told old jokes. She became a shadow that cleaned, cooked, swept, and stayed quiet. Gift controlled the house now. She wore gold earrings, bought new curtains, and even painted the walls bright yellow. "The house looked modern now," she said, but Maike didn't care about the paint or furniture. She only cared about one thing, her son. And even that was slipping away. Ike had changed. He smiled less, talked less, and sometimes stared into space like his mind wasn't his own. "Mama, are you okay?" he asked once in a while, but never could she answer. He would walk away or check his phone. One day, Mama went to the village for burial. She hadn't been home in a long time. When she arrived, her old friend, Mama Chinwe gasped. "Ah, Mama Ike, is this you?" Mama Ike said weakly, "Yes, it is me." "My sister, you look so thin, oh. Are you sick?" "No," Mama Ike whispered. "I'm just tired." Everywhere she went, people stared. She used to be strong. She aged too fast. What happened in the city? But Mama Ike couldn't tell them. Who would believe her that her son wife used black magic to turn her into a maid? Who would believe that the woman who once ran a household like a queen now washed socks and swept the floor like a servant? When she returned to the city, she brought with her something new, shame. She no longer people looked good in people's eyes. She walked with her head down and shoulder bent. Even at night, when she slept, she dreamed of water she couldn't drink and doors she couldn't open. One afternoon, while scrubbing the kitchen tiles, she looked at her wrinkled hands and thought, "This is not how my life was meant to end." Then, for the first time in a long time, she felt something inside her flickered. It was small, like a flame of matchstick. It was hope. One Sunday morning, Mama Ike walked to the market like she always did. Her steps were slow, her wrapper dragged on the ground. People could nearly notice her pass. Just another tired woman with a basket. Some strange thing happened that day. As she passed a small street, she heard singing. It was coming from a tiny white tent with blue plastic chair. On the floor, a sign reads, "Mountain of Truth Prayer House." A voice called out from inside, "You, Mama in red wrapper." Mama Ike froze. A young pastor stepped out. He was thin, with eyes and a loud voice that filled the air. "Yes, you," he said, pointing at her. "Come, God has a message for you." Mama Ike looked around unsure. "Come," he said again. "You are not a slave, you are a mother, and someone has used darkness to steal your light." Her heart jumped. She hadn't told anyone. She hadn't even whispered it loud. Yet, this stranger, this pastor, knew. She stepped into the tent. The pastor placed his hands on her head and prayed. He prayed loudly, fiercely. His voice shook his tent. "Every chain holding this woman, break. Every mouth that cannot speak, open. Every evil hand, lose your grip." Mama Ike fell to the ground, her eyes closed, her body trembled. She didn't understand everything he said, but something was lifting, like smoke left her chest. Why the wind blew, a locked door opened. As she opened her eyes, the pastor was kneeling beside her. "Go," he said softly. "Don't return to that house. Not yet. You are free, but your battle is not over." Mama Ike nodded slowly. Her hands still shook, but something inside her changed. She stood up, held her wrapper tightly, and walked away from the market, but not towards home. She didn't even stop to collect her basket. She walked past the buses, past the shop. She walked fast and fast until the city night faded behind her. She didn't stop until she reached the village. There, she sat under the mango tree near her late husband's grave, and for the first time in 2 years, she cried. Mama Ike never returned to the city. She left with nothing but wrapper on her waist and slippers that covered in dust. In the village, she found a small room beside the old church. An old woman named Mama Uche gave her a mat, a plate, and a place to sleep. "What happened to you?" Mama Uche asked. Mama Ike didn't answer. She just shook her head and said, "I want to rest." And rest, she said. For weeks, she slept under skies and listened to birds in the morning. Her hands healed, her back stopped aching. Slowly, her voice returned, soft at first, then stronger. But her heart stayed heavy, not because of the outwork, not because of the charm, but because of Ike. She remembered the baby laughter, his first steps, and now he used to call her my queen. Now, he didn't even call her to ask where she went. No one did. Not Ike, not Gift, not even the neighbors. She was a ghost to them now, a forgotten woman living in the village, living in silence. One day, she sent a message to the pastor. "Thank you," she wrote, "but I am scared. I left, but my son is still under her." The pastor replied this one line, "Pray, the charm is not finished yet." Far away in the city, Ike sat quietly at the tiny table. His eyes looked tired, his shoulders slumped. Gift stood beside him, smiling as she rubbed his soldier. "You are doing well, my husband," she said sweetly. "Everything is peaceful now." Ike didn't smile. He barely spoke these days. He walked in the house like a robot, came home, ate and slept. He didn't even ask about his mother. He didn't even remember the last time they smoked. Gifts on the other hand had grown bolder. She had held the house keys. She decided what Ike wore, where he went to, who he spoke to. She is no longer just a wife. She was a queen, and Ike was a puppet. Back in the village, Mama Ike lit a candle beside her bed. She closed her eyes and whispered, God, if my son is still there, save him. As the candle flickered, a cold wind passed through the room. The city was quiet at night. Inside Ike's house, the world felt colder than usual. The air was still, but like it was holding its breath. Ike sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the floor. His eyes were open, but it was hard to tell if he was truly awake or trapped in some kind of dreams. Gift stood by the mirror, brushing her long hair slowly. She looked at Ike through the glass. We are very lucky, she said. Some men have troublesome mother. Yours left on her own. Ike didn't answer. Are you tired? She asked. Still, he did not answer her. She walked and touched his shoulders. We are quiet these days. Ike blinked, just once. I dream of her, he finally said, his voice dry like dust. She calls me, but I can't move. It is like I am underwater. Then she smiled, a tight, careful smile. Dreams are just dreams, but Ike's fingers were twitching slowly. Somewhere deep inside, a light was trying to turn back on. Back in the village, Mama Ike lit a fire outside her small house. She placed a pot on it and boiled bitterleaf soup. Her eyes watched the flame dance. Ike, she whispered, come back to yourself. Every night she prayed, every night she waited. She didn't want revenge. She wanted her son. One night, while Gift was out for a night prayer meeting, she said, Ike opened his wardrobe. Something has fallen inside his shoes. A small photo of him and his mother, taken many years ago. They were laughing in the picture, truly laughing. He picked it up and stared. Suddenly, he felt dizzy. His chest grew tight. He sat down, sweating. Voice reading his head. His mother laughed her warnings are singing, and she cooked. Then silence, just silence. When Gifts came home, Ike was still holding the photos. She snatched it from him and burnt it into the sink. No more memories, she hissed. Only now, only me. In the village, Mama Ike sat up suddenly. She felt something like a door opened, but it was too late. Her son was still alive, but like the Ike, but like Ike she once knew, it was fading.